Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are opening up the ultimate examiner's playbook for one of the absolute trickiest areas in the 0606 additional mathematics syllabus. We're talking about using substitution to form and solve related quadratic equations. Think of this like being a top-tier football strategist. The exam paper is the opposing team's defense, and they're setting up barriers to keep you from scoring those top marks. If you've ever stared at a totally complex, messy equation and wondered how on earth it connects to your basic quadratic formula, you are in the exact right place. We're going to break down the formation, the tactics, and the execution to help you outplay the examiners.
Okay, let's dive into this huge question right away. Because despite being a fundamental topic, quadratic substitution is a massive stumbling block for so many candidates. We see it time and time again in the data. Students completely understand basic algebra, right? They know how to solve a standard quadratic equation, but when they're asked to use substitution to unmask a related hidden equation, the wheels just completely fall off. Why is that gap so hard to bridge? Why does the defense keep winning here?
Well, as this quote from the principal examiner reports brilliantly illustrates, if you find the terminology and the causal relationships here confusing, you are definitely not alone. The examiners themselves literally call this one of the most misunderstood areas in additional math. It's not just about crunching the numbers. It's about the underlying logic that connects an original, complicated equation to a nice, clean, substituted one. Before we continue to our game plan, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now.
All right, so here is our playbook for today. First, we'll cover the core principles. Second, the method mark strategy. Third, the standardized sequence. And fourth, the top examiner warnings.
Moving right into Section 1, Core Principles, the theoretical architecture.
So what's really fascinating about this slide is that examiners explicitly note that candidates who reference cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher scores. The theoretical architecture of substitution doesn't just exist in a vacuum. It rests on really precise definitions and causal relationships. You have to see how a substitution integrates with completely different syllabus areas. We're talking indices, logarithms, trigonometry. When you look at an equation, you need the tactical vision to see the hidden quadratic hiding inside those other topics.
And this introduces an absolutely vital distinction for your exam strategy. The assessment framework heavily prioritizes logical, structured reasoning and analytical depth over just having a superficial breadth of knowledge. Memorizing 100 random formulas superficially, that's not going to help you transform a hidden quadratic. You need the analytical depth to understand exactly why letting a dummy variable, like u or y, equal a complex term suddenly unlocks the entire problem. It's about seeing the why, not just the what.
Let's move to Section 2, the method mark strategy, rewarding the process. Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2 to 3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to acetheexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions. Okay, back to the strategy. In additional mathematics, examiners desperately want to see your clear working and data interpretation skills. This means you secure method points for your systematic analysis even before reaching the final solution. The system demands that you extract the right data, interpret the causal relationships of your substitution, and draw evidence-based conclusions step by step. Think about it. If you make a minor, silly arithmetic error at the very end, but your substitution logic is perfectly mapped out, you still bank those essential method marks. You're getting points just for outmaneuvering the defense.
Which brings us to Section 3, the standardized sequence, the procedural framework.
If you memorize this exact standardized sequence, you will systematically process literally any substitution question exactly the way the examiners expect. It's your guaranteed scoring play. Step 1, deconstruct the question and extract the relevant data. Find the hidden pattern. Step 2, select your analytical framework and apply the principles of substitution. Choose your variable. Step 3, execute the analysis using crystal clear notation. Solve the new quadratic. And finally, Step 4, verify your results and present them using the correct terminology. You absolutely cannot skip that last step. That's where you reverse your substitution to find the actual original variable.
And this brilliantly illustrates a major insider tip. Principal examiners report that candidates consistently confuse key terminology. So define your terms right out of the gate. If your tactic is deciding that u equals 2 to the power of x, write that down explicitly on the paper. Do not just start injecting mysterious, undefined variables into your equations without introducing them to the examiner first. Show them your game plan.
Let's tackle the climax of our playbook in Section 4, Top Examiner Warnings, the 3 critical mistakes. Avoid these 3 incredibly common presentation and context errors, and your working will stand out brilliantly to the grader. First up, candidates flat out forget to include the proper mathematical format. Second, they fail to review their overall presentation, leaving messy, scattered, hard-to-follow logic that examiners hate trying to decode. And third, they provide answers that aren't specific to the given context. This is huge. For example, if your substitution dictates that your variable must be positive, like if you used an exponential, and you blindly offer a negative root just because a quadratic gave you one, you will lose marks. You have to filter your answers through the context of the original question. To truly master this and hit those highest grade boundaries, you must elevate your analysis. Evaluate the quality of your evidence, identify limitations, and consider alternative interpretations. Top-scoring candidates don't just act like mindless calculators. They demonstrate evaluative thinking. Question your assumptions. Did you assume a resulting value is valid when the originally substituted term dictates it's mathematically impossible? Justify every single decision with clear, undeniable mathematical evidence. To ensure you don't forget the procedural framework we discussed today, I highly recommend creating your own personal mnemonic using the first letters of those key steps. Deconstruct, select, execute, verify. DSEV. Build a phrase that sticks in your mind. It's a super simple trick, but it guarantees you won't freeze up and abandon your structure when you're under the pressure of the exam clock. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to look at your most recent practice paper and ask yourself honestly, have you truly proven your methodology to the examiner? Or are you structuring your evidence in a way that literally demands method marks even if the final calculation goes slightly awry? Take these core principles, apply the standardized sequence, and start outsmarting the test. Students who implement these mathematics strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly videos. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at actheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to @actheexams_IGCSE and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. Drop a comment below with your target grade for mathematics and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the Exams, your Cambridge success starts here. Never stop questioning those assumptions, and I'll catch you in the next session.